Welcome to my 1951 Ariel Square 4. Isn't she gorgeous? Yes. Alright, so first, I've had this Ariel Square 4 for quite a few years. Haven't had it on the channel. It's got some issues, so let's go over it, take a close look at it because this is beautiful. It is dusty right now, but we'll clean it up shortly, and then I'll try to get it running in the further upcoming videos. I'll go over what we need to do to get this back in running condition. It's not far off, but it does need some things. So yes, first look at my 1951 Ariel Square 4. She's a beauty, and yes, she's not standard. Alright, so this Square 4 is what's known as a Mark 1. It has the single pipe up there, or it's a two-piper. It's not the four-piper, doesn't have the one there and one there. But this is a beautiful, beautiful bike. It has the pedestrian splitter front plate there. And I bought this a couple years ago. A guy was restoring it and has done a lot of work to it, and it just needs to be finished up, honestly. This bike is dusty. I need to wipe it down. So we have our oil pressure here. We have our chronometric speedometer here. That has been rebuilt as well. I need to secure it. And then the amp meter up there in the headlight. I have replaced this dip switch. But she's a beautiful, beautiful bike. There's some things that need to be fixed. It's got a very bad oil leak coming from, I think it's back here in the back of this chain case if I remember correctly, so I need to address that. The Morgo oil pump, he said he hooked it up with backwards pretty much, so the low pressure is on the wrong one and the high pressure line's on the wrong one. He felt that it would work better that way. I'm going to disagree and fix that, reverse that. And also another issue of this bike is it keeps slipping out of gear. So I will have to address this transmission as well. As you can see, let's try to get in there a little bit better. So it has a larger oil tank on it to help. The guy did that to try to help run cooler because these are known for overheating there. He relocated the battery to under the seats. I mean, it looks a little cleaner, but I kind of enjoy the battery being on the side. It's kind of funky and neat. And in here, I mean, you can see we got a distributor here. And then in here, if we can get this open. So rather than a toolkit, well, come on. There we go. There's the coil. So he's got some hot rod coil in there, some cool looking plugs. Or cool looking wires. And then hot rod style on the spark plugs there. Let me try to get this in there. There we go. So this has what is known as the plunger suspension, as you can see right here on the back. It is such a pretty, pretty bike though. It really is. I've got all the receipts for it. The engine's been gone through. The cylinder head, I need to retorque that. So we'll go over that in an upcoming video. Then we'll also be going over the repairs that I need to do, like that Berman gearbox back there, and then the oil leak that's going on with it as well. Since I've gotten it, I've replaced one of the footrests. It was bent down pretty badly. He had some really big old tires on there. They ballooned really, really big. I mean, they look cool, but it wasn't very practical, and it was hitting the inside of that front fender. But that's about it. I have torqued that cylinder head once. I have ridden it, but it just keeps coming out of gear, so it's not enjoyable to ride when it's doing that. And then the seat, I called it the boogie seat because it would slide back and forth a lot, and fortunately now it does not. Then another thing I think I need to address, well, I already did apparently, that horn was all sliding back and forth, but I did tighten that down. So one of the most unique identifying things about the Ariel Square 4 is the engine. So it has 4 cylinders in a square layout. There's 2 crankshafts that spin opposite directions, and it makes it an incredibly smooth running and riding machine. And you can see I've got the fuel disconnected here. Then in here we have the Solex carburetor. I think that's a French-made carburetor. And he has a pod filter on there. I don't think that would be standard either. I'm not sure what's standard. I'll have to look into it and might go with a better option than the little cheesy pod filter. That looks like some just cheap Amazon wood, which I'm not really a fan of personally. Alright, well this concludes my first video in my new garage. I'm still waiting on electricity in here. They're supposed to come in tomorrow. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. So you can follow me as I work on my Ariel Square 4 and then we do a ride on it later. I did record a video on it when I first bought it, but I don't know what happened to the video. I lost it, I apologize. This video of me riding on it and everything, it's really cool, but sorry, I missed that.